Hey, Shalom, this is your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, or Chahakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. This is Ezekiel 38 and 1. All right, because I was reading through this, and when it got to verse 4, and it talked about all the nations that were allies to Gog, which is modern day Russia. I said, well, let me go look up their alliance statuses today, and everything just checks out. Prophecy just checks out time and time again, which is the bar that we set to anybody who wants to come up against the scriptures. When you're defending the gospel, I always say prophecy is our trump card. All right, so this is Ezekiel 38:1. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog." Okay, and who's in that land today? Who took it over? The Edomites. So it's not talking about the Japhites of that land. It's talking about the people that took that land over. And the thing about Edom, when they take over a land, unlike most countries that push their ways on the native people, they'll adopt the customs of the people of the land, of the natives. Another example of that when they took over Egypt. Okay, it says, "The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws." Now, Russia, when they were the USSR, they were in a conquering spirit, and slowly but surely, the Lord is putting them back in that spirit. You see. So while everybody's in that spirit of procrastination and, just mirth, little instances are happening all over the earth where smaller nations are aligning themselves with Russia. People are picking sides. All right, let's continue on here. Okay, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor." All right, that the new technology and the new weapons that they have for World War III that they have prepared. "Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia." Now, Persia, let's go take a look here. Persia would be, if I'm not mistaken, modern day Iran. So I go to Google. I say, is Iran an ally of Russia? It says Iran and Russia are strategic allies and form an axis in the Caucasus alongside Armenia. Iran and Russia are also military allies in the conflicts in Syria and Iraq and partners in Afghanistan and post-Soviet Central Asia. All right, now you look up, let's go here. Give me 1 second here. Libya as well, right? Is Libya aligned with Russia? Since Russia also regards Libya as one of its strongest allies in the Arab world and has supported stabilization of the country following the aftermath of the Libyan civil war. Does Russia have troops in Libya? All right. It says the Wagner Group, also known as the PMC Wagner, a Russian paramilitary organization, also described as a private military company, a network of mercenaries, and a de facto unit of the Russian Ministry of Defense, or Russia's military intelligence agency. The GRU has conducted operations in Libya since late 2018. So they're training soldiers up in Libya. All right, then you go talk about Ethiopia. Well, they have had an alliance since 1943 until this day. And they have an embassy in Ethiopia, and Ethiopia has an embassy in Moscow. So they are allies. So Ezekiel 38, man, it checks out when you go through it. All right, so let's read verse 4 again from the top here. It says, "And I will turn thee, Salakia, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. So those are the three nations that we just looked at. All of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all of his bands, and the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all of his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And they are guard unto these smaller nations. So it just fits perfectly when you look at what's happening in the earth today. All right. So when you're not going to get this kind of information and understanding in the church, more than half of pastors, they don't have a biblical worldview. Meaning, when you go to a church, most of the pastors, they don't look at the scriptures and say, "Oh, this is what's happening in the earth today." They don't look at it. They don't apply it that way. They don't see the scriptures as something that is correlated with what's happening in our time. All right. All right. So, what is a biblical worldview? It says a biblical worldview, also called a Christian worldview, is built upon the framework of ideas and beliefs through which a Christian individual or group interprets the world and interacts with the world. All right, so they use the word to perceive what's going on around them. Most pastors do not, operate in this fashion. So this isn't something to get in the church. You're not going to get this from Vocab Malone and his band of apologists. So most people, they're going to be completely baffled as society unravels and aren't truly going to have direction, because all they've heard is a prosperity doctrine. The Lord loves everybody. He's not going to put anybody through suffering and all that. They've heard all these lies which do not line up with the scriptures. So they're not going to be able to perceive the things that are happening in earth, and definitely not what's happening next. All right. So it's a beautiful thing to have this knowledge and to be a part of it. The Lord, opening our understanding. We just got to continue in the well-doing. And Abarat says, man, we're chosen and saved, because none of us are saved yet, despite what you've been told your whole life. All right? No one's saved yet. Even Ezra's, man, even though the Lord showed him all those visions and was dealing with him heavily. When you go to the book of Ezra, he said, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? When he was seeing the vision, that was his thought process. So who are we to be, I'm saved already, and you just out here being a nigga, not considering your conduct, not fearing the Lord, none of that. But you just walk around saying you saved. Bullshit. All right, so Abarat's the lesson was edifying, man. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Raha Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity and right. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.